Welcome to NerdGuyProductions. How many times will I change the channel name? Let's find out together. Today we're going to be watching The Walking Dead. Welcome back to The Walking Dead. I already hear a song, so I'm getting worried about copyright, so I'm going to try and not talk at all until this song stops. What the fuck is that? Oh shit. I mean, trees fall all the time. I don't think so. Not yet.
The roof's collapsed, half are trapped under it.
It's gonna take a hell of a long time to get them all out. What do you want to do, boss?
Maybe get her to
Okay.
the infirmary before you finish talking. She looked severely injured here.
No, I'm fine.
Get the hell out of here.
Man, fuck you guys.
Hey, you three.
Look, I'm no Lydia fan, but she clearly had nothing to do with the situation. It's pretty jacked up to hold her accountable for that. But I suppose I would have done the same if she were a savior back in season 7, so I guess I sort of got it. I don't know. I mean,
that is not bad, kiddo.
that's what I was thinking too, but everyone keeps saying the waves of walkers and all these things going on are not them.
Is that the kind of bully they are?
Unless it is.
You're thinking on it.
I'm thinking on it. Poor guy. Lost his son, his wife, his kingdom.
It's okay.
Whoa. I don't think that's what she... what? It seemed like you were kind of feeling it there for a second there, Michonne. You didn't, like, pull away. Maybe that was just a brief little confusing moment of comfort for the both of them, and now they're like, alright, that was weird. I don't know.
You know I didn't mean to.
We never would have worked out anyway.
Okay, I guess it was just a confusing little, like, alright, that was weird.
Tastes good to me.
Yes.
Some room, please.
This is what I would do. I'd be like, oh no, I'm just making myself comfortable. Don't you guys worry. You know what? I'm with Lydia. I enjoy this little act of rebellion. Fuck these assholes.
Right.
I mean, I guess. Sort of. I guess this is finally some parenting for Daryl. Now he's got to deal with teenage daughter. Oh, look who it is. Fucking knew they'd do some shit like this. Come on, Lydia, fuck them up.
My friends on spikes.
I wasn't there.
Fuck them up. Someone's got to save her, right? Okay. Oh, it's Negan of all people. Why did it have to be Negan of all people? How did he get out of his cell?
What the hell's going on back here? Holy shit, Margo.
How did you lose track of him for that long, dude? Like, what the hell? Oh, shit. Oopsie daisy. Didn't mean to do that.
Shit, all that time you spent fantasizing about my death, all that time you actually tried to kill me, and now look at you. You're not so sure.
I'm pretty sure I want you dead. I don't know. I feel like this whole it's not the Whisperer sending the waves of walkers in the tree and all that, I kind of don't buy it anymore. Like, it has to be them. Just slowly whittling away at their strength. I mean, we got, like, the A-team out here on walker duty, so it should be good. I mean, there's a lot more people than this at Hilltop. Why don't they send a couple more people to assist the A-team? I'm just saying. Okay. Aw, fuck me, dude. Alright, well that fucking sucks. Let's get back to killing them. Nice. Yeah! What? That's badass. Love watching Judith fuck some shit up. Honestly, this combo, Michonne and Judith, killing walkers with their katanas, like, badass.
Killing him now over this undermines the civilization that we have built. What about the people who never got to
I agree with that. It's sort of like, if you didn't kill him for all the war crimes he committed way back when, you can't execute him now for this accident.
Look at what's going on at Hilltop.
And now Oceanside?
Yeah, it
First
does.
time, coincidence. Second time might be bad luck, but the third time, we
It
should
can't.
check.
Yeah, it can't be a coincidence.
If you don't mind,
It can't just be the satellite either.
I'm feeling the ocean calling to me.
And, by ocean, you mean?
Yeah, that pretty
Jules?
girl.
What?
What?
Never even heard of her.
Oh, yes, of course, the very...
No. And he has escaped for the second time. I did read through to the comics that he escapes twice, so kind of been waiting for that. She's got those keys, and we all know it.
Laura was.
Or maybe it's just so obvious that it's her, it's gonna end up being someone like Daryl or Carol, and you're gonna be like, the
I
fuck?
didn't.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Let Negan out.
Well, that means you're gonna be put right into that cell, which seems like you are keenly aware of.
Yeah, it did.
I kept watch last night. You never left the house.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't her. They're tricking me.
You don't belong in a cage.
I'm better here. Feel safe.
Alright, fine. Stay here for now. But I would like to know who actually let him out. This music has come back to copyright me, god damn it! Jesus Christ. Think you graffitied enough of the town? Alright. It was a pretty good episode. That ending was super fucking creepy. Holy shit. So like I said, the episode was pretty good. Definitely not as good as last week. Last week set the bar pretty high, and this week definitely toned things down a lot more. My biggest issue with this episode is it wasn't necessarily filler, but it was definitely set up for episodes to come. It set up this conflict between Magna and Yumiko. It set up whatever events are about to transpire over in Oceanside, as well as setting up the potential death of Luke. It set up this whole storyline with Lydia now needing to rise up again with all the rest of these people, as well as Negan escaping, and I'm pretty sure I know where he's going, but I don't want to say it in case it does spoil anything for anybody. That being said, there were some standout moments in the episode, definitely. There were some great character moments, like I really liked the scene between Ezekiel and Michonne where they had the kiss, which is kind of a callback to the comics where they were this big power couple and everything, and they kind of just laughed it off, joked about it. We're like, that was weird. But it was neat to see both of those characters talk about how they've both been in that place where you feel like you just can't do this anymore, but despite thinking that, they just keep on keeping on, you know, for whatever reasons they have. They're still fighting to stay alive and everything. So it was a good scene. It was powerful. Next best storyline I would give to Yumiko's group. They didn't have a whole lot to do besides some pretty cool action stuff, but I am interested in where this anger that Magna seems to be holding against Yumiko. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but I would like to find out a little bit more about it. And I've always just really liked the dynamic of that group. Like, you can tell they really have each other's backs, but they're not afraid to say when they're against a decision that the group is going with. Like, I think out of the entire show, they're probably the best new characters that they've introduced on the show. Just the way they were introduced and the types of people that they just immediately became important parts of the show, which I really appreciate. And the best storyline was definitely the one with Negan and Lydia. As much as I hate Negan, everyone is very clear on how much I hate Negan. But he clearly was in the right here. Like, he is, as he said, is kind of a sucker. Like, he feels bad for this girl who's clearly being ostracized and picked on for no other reason than she came from the group that has done terrible things to their group now. And at first I was kind of like, okay, I get the animosity, I get why they would hate her so much, but when she's literally pleading, saying, I was not there, I had nothing to do with it, you know I loved Henry and everything, like how in the hell can you rationally justify beating on this girl at that point? Like, you can clearly tell she had nothing to do with it. But fear and anger does horrible things to people, I suppose. But you know what happens when you do stupid things like that? You die. And I honestly don't feel bad for that lady dying at all. Like, she was the one instigating this shit along with the other two. Like, they deserve everything coming their way, and it's really frustrating that Lydia basically just gave up in the end and said, you know what, they want me gone so badly, I'm not going to give them that satisfaction, but I will put myself in this cage to make them feel happier and to make myself feel safer, which is just really unfortunate, honestly. Like, I've never been the biggest Lydia fan, but I do feel bad for her, and she just wants to feel like she's part of the group, and she's definitely not. And at first I thought the biggest issue with the episode was gonna be is that it feels kind of disjointed a little bit. Like, each storyline is happening, but so what? Like, what's the purpose of it overall? Like, what is the theme that they're going for in this episode? And for me, that last shot of the graffiti of Silence the Whisperers all over Alexandria, I think that was what tied it all together for me. Like, every storyline, no matter how different they were from each other, they were all dealing with this fear that the Whisperers are out there and how it's consuming these communities and making these good people do some pretty shitty things because they're so scared and they want to be ready for when the Whisperers show up. They want to take care of them first. And I completely get the desire to just say, all right, let's just go fucking kill them before they can do anything to us. But in this situation, just the circumstances and the type of group they're facing, this is not the Saviors. This is not a place where you're like, here's their home base, we need to fuck them up and go kill their leader. This is a group of like nomadic people. You never know where they're gonna be or how many of them there are. They always can split up into smaller groups and surprise you later. They have the walkers as tools to their advantage. Like, they're a very different enemy, and I actually do agree with Michonne and a lot of the other characters in being patient with this one and biding your time, because you're gonna need to wait for a good opportunity. You can't just go at this full force, you're gonna get killed. As for the technicals, the camera work in this episode honestly kind of bugged me. I thought that a lot of the shots were pretty mundane. There was nothing really striking with a lot of the cinematography. And there were quite a few lighting issues I had in the episode where it was either too dark or the dramatic lighting that they were going for didn't really work for me. I was like, it looks kind of dumb. The editing was decent, but it was a lot slower paced than some of the previous episodes, and for good reason. You can tell this episode is meant to be just a little bit of a breather. The last episode was a lot more white knuckle than this one, so now they're kind of like, all right, breathe it out, and I have a feeling the next episode or the one after that is gonna crank it back up again. And again, that theme that I thought was only gonna be for the first episode apparently is now kind of going on through the season, that there is this fear consuming the communities, and that fear can be just as powerful a weapon as any gun or any army could be. So I really like how they're doing that, playing with both the audience's expectations and the characters. It's a very smart way to do it, and I feel like it's absolutely what the Whisperers would do as a tactic, as opposed to go at them full force. The music was also pretty good. It was very understated in this episode. Not a whole lot of standout moments, just that one song at the beginning and end to kind of tie it all together. Overall, I'm going to give the episode a 7.5 out of 10. Not that it's a bad episode at all. I just feel like throughout it, you're kind of like, okay, what's the point here? And you don't really get the point until the very end, and that's only after you think about it for just a minute. So maybe I'm just a bit slow, but I feel like everything in this episode was perhaps just a bit too understated, so I'm gonna go ahead and say 7.5. I'm definitely excited for the next episode still. I definitely want to know what's gonna happen in Oceanside. It's like they said, one time, maybe it's a coincidence. 2 times, doesn't seem like a coincidence, but I suppose it could be. And the 3rd time, gotta check this out. Like, something isn't right here. And like they said, Lydia swears it's not the Whisperers. The Whisperers say it's not them. And there's these little seeds of doubt that are now so strong, they're almost too confident that it's not the Whisperers. So I kind of feel like it is. I feel like Judith was spot on, and they're just whittling them down piece by piece. But we will find out either in the next episode or a little further down the line. And that's about it. Alright, it's been a full day now. Okay, you got me, Mom. You got me, Mom. She's such a mom. Oh! Holy shit, that made me so